Hi, everybody, and welcome back to podcast number 2. We are still in the working title phase, so not too sure what to call this yet. Getting closer, though. Tonight's podcast, we're going to discuss the movie Glass. So quick little intro for those who may not be aware. Glass is the third part of a trilogy, if you will. I can't imagine when all of these movies were made that there was an idea that they'd be bonded, but the movie Unbreakable, which starred Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. Bruce Willis plays your sort of under-the-radar superhero. And by that I mean not really known in the public, as well as not really all that great of superpowers, just kind of a pretty strong guy who can bend metal and beat up guys bigger than him. Samuel L. Jackson plays sort of this mastermind terrorist, if you will, and both of their powers being mind and strength kind of go head to head at one point, where throughout most of the movie you were of the mindset that they were friends. Split was the second movie of this trilogy, where James McAvoy played something of a, I don't even know what you'd call someone who has 23 split personalities, but someone with a personality disorder, we'll say that. The movie was good. Split is 100% why the people went to see this movie. It made a lot of money. Glass, that is. Split did also. McAvoy's character has, 23 personalities. He's a known psychopath who captures women. And, tortures, eats, kills, that's them. And the storyline throughout that movie is you see each character kind of develop into this climax of the beast, the unveiling of the beast, if you will, which was good. I'll actually give credit to that film. And which brings us to Glass. Now, Glass wasn't good. This was a movie and by we I think I mean most fans of M. Night's first two movies that I mentioned here were pretty excited about. Especially those fans of sorry, my heater just turned on and I know that's going to be making a noise, so I just turned it off though, so bear with us. Fans of the movie Split, these are the ones that definitely brought the income to this movie. This movie, Glass, made money. Did it deserve to? No. The movie wasn't good. It was a definite letdown. And I don't like to be, negative on people's art. I really don't. I like to try and have a wide opinion, not too harsh of it. Either way, the movie wasn't good, so you gotta be harsh on it. The acting was cheesy, it was poorly directed. I don't know, it really wasn't for me. M. Night just didn't have it on this one, and for these reasons. The acting was cheesy. Despite a compelling performance from James McAvoy, who I believe is the sole reason that this movie brought in the income that it did, the acting wasn't good. Samuel L. Jackson was Samuel L. Jackson. It's just you know what to expect. Bruce Willis's character, though, you saw a different character. He just became corny and cheesy, and I don't know, he didn't have a whole lot of lines, and what little lines he did have were just not fucking good. I actually enjoy Anna Taylor-Joy, who plays Casey Cook in the movie, who was the first victim that we saw in Split. I enjoyed her. Sarah Paulson, no, her character pretty much lost the movie for me. Now this is not just on her. This is it's signs of poor direction and poor writing. Honestly, there was nothing clever to her character. She was supposed to play, this therapist, this supervisor of these patients, if you will, and she was supposed to be this intelligent, well-spoken with these great theories woman, and all she had was, you three think you're comic book characters. And I get it. M. Night's a bit of a nerd. He's on this big comic book kick, and it attracts people. These DC movies make a ton of money, even though a lot of them aren't that good, because people love it. But Paulson's character, it was cheesy, it was cheap, it was not clever. The movie was too simplistic. It didn't have any real creative edge. It was, hey, you three think you're superheroes. I think you're normal. I'm going to prove why. There was no real great theory behind it either. There wasn't really. So they had to come up with something, and it was that their frontal lobes and their minds were blocked. And that's not a spoiler. That's just, it's just not good. I don't know. And the way she portrayed everything, and I really didn't like it. It's not to say that I'm not a fan of hers. I've seen her. I watch American Horror Story. I've enjoyed her in that. I think she's talented. I just think that this was not a role for her. I don't think it was a role for anybody. I pretty much think you could have cast anybody. Meryl Streep wouldn't have been able to perform this role. It just was written poorly. Spencer Treat Clark, who played Joseph Dunn, who was Bruce Willis's son, also just a cheeseball. I mean, just wasn't good. I've seen him in Animal Kingdom, if any of you guys have ever watched that. The show's actually pretty good. I never got around to finishing it, and I don't really have a reason. It didn't really ever get bad. As I waited for the next season to come, one debuted, and I just kind of let it fade. But I don't really like his character in that show. I don't think he's all that talented. And again, I don't like just sitting here talking about someone behind a microphone. I would happily see more of his movies and give him a full shot. I haven't liked him in what I've seen, so my apologies to him, but that's just kind of how I'm feeling. And those are pretty much all the main characters worth mentioning in regards to a review. And like I said, it just was overall very underwhelming. The cinematography was meh, it was filmed well. I didn't really ever see anything that made me think, that looked stupid or that looked... there was a scene where McAvoy was flipping a car and you were seeing it through a security camera and it looked pretty fake. But other than that, they did a good job. They were climbing on walls. There was definitely things that they did well with good color and good lighting. The tone of the movie was alright. It didn't really keep you too interested, though. It just, I don't know. There's never really any moment of, like, you expected the climax to come and expected it to be great. Like, you just kind of were just waiting, and that was that. The score, again, the music didn't get me either. There was never like a moment where I just thought, like, God, this needs like something, and then boom, that something happened. It just continued to stay kind of at that monotone level throughout most of the film, and I honestly I wasn't for it. And like I said, I know that this movie, it got hype. It's been the top in the box office, I think, for at least 2-3 weeks. And Unfortunately, I may have to say that's due to the best of a bad situation. I still think people would have seen this movie. I just really there's like nothing out to see right now that that gets the general population. There's movies for the critics and for us film buffs, but for those moviegoers who spend the money and want to have a good time on a Friday night, there's just not enough out right now. And unfortunately, what was supposed to be the one big good release just wasn't. And for that, I'm going to score the movie at a 4.1 out of 10. And I'm going to give M. Night a couple more shots, though. Split was good. Got to give him credit for that. Everybody knows The Sixth Sense, but he's had a couple flops since then. And I don't know. It's always an up and down game with him. This game, unfortunately, seemed to lack effort, lack creativity, and it may have been rushed. Split didn't come out that long ago. It was a great concept to bring these three movies together. I mean, he's made a bunch of money off of this, and I just, from a film review standpoint, from anybody who knows movies, it's not about the money. It's about it sounds douchey, but it's about art. It's about creativity. It's about so much more than making some loot. And I just think he needs to put a little more time and effort into his next one and get it right rather than rush it. So that's my thought on Glass. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this isn't anything that you don't like. Alright, we're signing off before I keep rambling, but this is Joe, and I wish you guys a very great rest of your day.